Were you or anyone else that you know ever sexually abused as a child by a parent, sibling, or someone else? There is a statistic that states 1 in every 5 girls or and 1 in every 20 boys are a victim of sexual abuse. Child abuse is something that should be brought to someone's attention because it is a serious offense. Many adults tend to overlook, to minimize, to explain away, or to disbelieve allegations of abuse. This may be particularly true if the perpetrator is a family member. One thing that gave an interest in me was that child abuse is sometimes something that scares the family and the children, so most of the time it is not spoken by the child and the abuser, and it can keep going on because no one has said anything. A really good thing that I found in one article was the real prevalence of child abuse is not known because so many victims do not disclose or report their abuse. Researchers have suggested rates vary from 1% to 35%. Most professionals in the field of abuse use rates from 8% to 20%. So that's really high, the difference. Another thing is that the true prevalence of child abuse is unknown, and there will be at least 500,000 babies born in the United States that are sexually abused before they are 18. Something that I found interesting too was that a lot of people that are sexually abused sometimes become pregnant, and then that child gets abused by the person that abused their mother. So a lot of people don't think about it and don't tell anyone because they're scared their abuser might have frightened them in some way, or told them that if they are going to tell, that they might do more harm to them. So a lot of children are just afraid, and some of them are afraid to come out and say anything. A lot of the people that are abused are usually abused by men. Very rarely cases are there any that are women that are abusers, but there are some that are the women that are abusers. Most children abusers are men, and many may be respected members of the community drawn to settings where they gain easy access to children like schools, clubs, and churches. They come from all age groups, race, religions, and social economic classes. So what that quote meant to me was that a lot of children that go out into the public, a lot of the abusers are actually out in the public. Like some people that get raped are in school, and that it could be somebody from in their school, or it could be somebody from a church, or it could be somebody from a club. You just really never know. You have to be paying attention. Children usually know their abusers, and they trust them and are very close to them. So a lot of people have to watch out. Gender is also a major part in sexual abuse. Females are 5 times more likely to be abused than males. Because I think the part is that women trust more than men do. The age of a male being abused also plays a part. 8% of victims are 12 to 17 that are males. 26% of the victims under the age of 12 are males. So that's a high thing too, because, a lot of people don't really know this kind of stuff. The third point that I really want to make in this is that there are many behavioral problems that are seen in children that are abused, like depression, eating disorders, sleeping disturbances, school problems, withdrawals from family. What that means is like They don't communicate with their family all the time. Friends or usual activities that they do sometimes decrease. Excessive bathing or poor hygiene. A lot of people get very anxious. Some of them run away. Some of them have very low self-esteem, self-destructive behavior, hostile or aggravation, drug or alcohol problems, sexual activity or pregnancy at an early age, promiscuity, and suicide attempts. So them really sum up a lot of things. A lot of people do tend to go towards that way. Poor school attendance, early marriage, fear of attacks reoccurring, being angry of being forced into a situation beyond one's control. Because a lot of times people that are raped are actually forced. And the last thing that I have to say is when, where, and how does a child abuse happen? Well, one thing is predators do inappropriate comments and touches and behaviors that children sometimes are unaware of. So that is also one thing. 35% of convicted child abusers use threats of violence to keep children from disclosing the abuse. General threats and physical forces are also used to prevent detection. 81% of children that are abused are all ages, and it occurs in one predator, one child, and 6 to 11 years old are most likely to be abused more. To conclude this, to inform people that child abuse and how effective it is, not everyone, not just the child, so it affects the family too. A child who is a victim of prolonged sexual abuse usually develop low self-esteem, a feeling of worthlessness, and an abnormal or distorted view of sex. The child may be withdrawn and mistrustful of adults and can become suicidal. The reason I did this speech is because when I was younger, I knew somebody that was sexually abused, and that person did not tell, and it's affected my life and their life too. So I just hope that children will tell if they are sexually abused. Thanks for watching.